Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Gypsy Shiva, and today we are going to Mahakumbh Mela. It's a Poon Mahakumbh. I'll explain this to you later in the video. But right now Pratham is shooting the video. Our friend is coming, Neri Bhaiya. It's 6:30 a.m. in the morning. We are all packed. The luggage is behind. Only 3 of us are going. We wanted to go more people, but yeah, only 3 got ready. So we 3 are going. It's my first Kumbh. Pretty excited in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. From here is the 9 hours drive to Ayodhya. Today we are going to Ayodhya and then we'll go to the main place, Prayagraj, where the Kumbh is happening. Guys, this is the Pratham. He will be behind the camera and in front of the camera also, but he will be doing the major shooting with us. And here is the luggage, all the luggage. We have water, luggage and all of this. We going straight from here to Ayodhya and it's gonna take us 9 hours, but we're gonna try to cover as much as possible in the first 5 hours and then we're gonna go very slowly enjoying the trip. But yeah, in the morning we want to do like very fast the things, so we reach more early, like 4 or 5 in the evening. Guys, we are on the expressway right now and this is how the neblina looks, the fog looks. We just traveled like 113 kilometers till now, if you can see, in like one and a half an hour, and we are on the Yamuna Expressway right now. Before there was no fog, but we just found fog on the Yamuna Expressway. Guys, everyone is going to Mahakumbh Mela and here are the Sadhu Babas that are just here sitting, chilling, drinking chai. And inside we have come to one dhaba. It's called a dhaba because it's like ponda. Here are all the food that is here. Paranthas, Chinese, but these letters are in Hindi, okay guys? So everything is in Hindi because we are in one remote area of one state. So that's why it's in Hindi. It's just one highway that is connecting this place, otherwise there is no connectivity here. So guys, if you can see, there are lotus flower right there. It's a small pond of lotus flowers. He's making one dish from Mumbai, Maharashtra. It's called Bhel Puri. Bhel Puri बनवा रहा हूँ. He put all these things, this, and this is the vegetables that he put, and here it's ready. धन्यवाद भाई. Here is the Bhel Puri. It's from one state. It's called Maharashtra. It's famous from there, but it's very tasty, very spicy, very chili. Yeah. Dosa, masala.
प्लेन डोसा ले लो, चाय ले लेना।
तो भाई अभी हम आ गए हैं यहाँ पर वृंदावन कट पहुँचे हैं, हाँ, और हुआ है नाश्ता। तो मुझे कुछ खाया नहीं, रात को 8 बजे खाया था लास्ट। तो प्रथम है ये तो रात को 1:30 बजे शिफ्ट खत्म करके भाई खा पी के सोया है और हमने कुछ नहीं खाया। तो
अभी ऑर्डर किया है, एक मसाला डोसा, एक प्लेन डोसा है, बाकी सैंडविच है, चाय एकदम देसी। और भाई ग्रिल्ड सैंडविच खाए हुए ना बहुत दिन हो गए, मतलब जब से मैं आया हूँ ऐसा हो रहा है कि मतलब 20-25 दिन हो गए आए हुए। हर एक दिन कोई ना कोई नया आइटम है, तो आज मेरा नया आइटम ग्रिल्ड सैंडविच है। डोसा तो मैंने खा लिया, सच बताऊँ तो डोसा बच्चों के साथ खा लिया, लेकिन ग्रिल्ड सैंडविच नहीं खाया। और ऐसे देख लो मुँह में पानी आने लग रहा है। We are going to Kumbh and I want to explain you why Kumbh is celebrated, what's the significance. We are just 250 kilometers away. We drove approximately 450 kilometers from Gurgaon, from New Delhi basically. Right now Neri Bhaiya is driving the car, so I have a little time.
I drove like 450 kilometers, but he has a lot of experience, guys. He is right here driving, and I want to tell you about the Kumbh Mela. So the Kumbh Mela started in 800 BC by Adi Shankaracharya, and he started it as a gathering. Started as a gathering of numerous people. The Vedic literature, or the Vedic Rig Veda, or the books, or basically the books or the literature that is present of Hindu mythology, it's mentioned the stories about this place. So the Kumbh Mela basically means that Kumbh means pot, and the Mela means a fair or the union of people. So the story goes back that there was one pot with nectar, and this pot with nectar was created by the gods, but somehow the demons and the gods had a fight for this pot. And what happened is, when the Garuda, one bird, came to save, as the demons and the gods were fighting, they were churning this nectar above one turtle, which was Vishnu. And it's also this story is called Sagar Manthan. And if you have ever gone to Thailand or Bangkok, you can see the Sagar Manthan sculptures all over the airport at the Swarnbhui airport of Bangkok. So it's not just Hindu religion is not just in India. It's present in all over South and Southeast Asia. Starting from India, it goes towards Bali, Indonesia, where you can find the traces of Hindu religion. So when they were fighting for this nectar, the nectar was of immortality. So when they were fighting for the nectar, one bird came and took the nectar or the pot. And when the bird took the pot, because it was flying, right? So because it was flying, the nectar fell in 4 different places. So one of them was Prayagraj, formerly known as Allahabad. Right now it's known as Prayagraj, and Nasik, Ujjain and Haridwar. So these are the 4 places where the Kumbh Mela is celebrated. But here the importance is completely different in Prayagraj, because here the nectar has fall. But also with the nectar, they say that it's a confluence of 3 rivers, the Ganga, the Yamuna and the Saraswati. So the Saraswati river is not present. The Saraswati river is not visible because it flows from the glaciers in Mana. But after that it goes underground, so no one knows where it goes inside the earth, but they say somehow it's present there. And also the Ganga and the Yamuna meets up here. So the 3 rivers meets up here, and taking a dip in Mahakumbh, basically you are taking the dip in the nectar of immortality, and it also removes all your sins, they say. Because the nectar fall here, and it is believed that every 12 years the religious ceremony takes place here of the Mahakumbh. It's a fair, it's the biggest Hindu fair or the Mela or the festival that you can say that has been ever recorded in human history, and it's the largest Hindu gathering in one place. So to believe the estimates, it says that there will be approximately 40 million people here. The population of Mexico is almost 126 million. So you can imagine 1/3 of the people of Mexico are going to one place to celebrate this festival, and they are taking the holy dip in the Ganga river together. Also, many of you must be thinking how 40 million people are taking bath and the water is not getting dirty. But it's scientifically proven somehow that there is some kind of bacteria present in that particular point, in that confluence of 3 rivers. Basically there are 2, one is invisible, okay guys. So they say that in that particular moment there is one bacteria present in the river which is self-cleaning the river at the same time. So I don't know how to explain this concept because it's very scientific, but the river is clean there. You will not get sick basically, even if 40 million people are taking bath in a span of 1.5 or 2 months, you will not get sick. That's one of the thing. Other thing is, many of you must be thinking that it's connected with the sadhus, the saints in India. Yes, it's connected with the sadhus because, so if you go back to the origins, one sadhu actually started this festival. Although bathing in the confluence of these 3 rivers is forever, but the sadhu, the Adi Shankaracharya, gave this name of Mahakumbh here in Prayagraj. And Mahakumbh is called only in Prayagraj. The Kumbh Mela is called in other three places where I told you the nectar fall, in the Nasik, Ujjain and Haridwar. So yes, the sadhus come here, is the part of their practice. They meditate on something. Few sadhus are putting their hand up for like 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. They are doing their meditation in different kind of way. There are the sadhus who are standing all these 10-15 years. The other sadhu may be, sitting on a chair of thorns. So there are different practices, different type of meditation. Also the famous Naga sadhus come here to take a dip. And the Naga sadhus, if you don't know, they live in the cremation ground where they burn the bodies and they are cannibals. But they do all of this because of some ritual. In Hindu religion, it's also said that when you die, the Shiva comes himself to take you. Shiva is present in the form of, in the avatar of Yamraj. So everything is connected. If you go deep in the Hindu mythology, you will know that everything is connected. So sadhus are the primary, in English you can say, stakeholders of this festival, but they are the organizers as well, and because of them is the festival. So this time it is expected around 40 million people to be हाँ
12 साल बाद हुआ है ये अपनी बात
144
140 साल बाद
हाँ. So the thing is, in the Mahakumbh, the highest recorded people were 30 million people, but this time it is believed to be coming 50 million people, because this is complete Mahakumbh. It comes every 12 years, but this cycle after 12 into 12 years becomes 144 years. So the last time it happened, it must be in 1881, 1881, date back to the year 1881. It's coming after 144 years, amigos, friends. So basically it means that this Mahakumbh is more bigger. Obviously there are more means to come to Mahakumbh now, and they say all the people come here, be it the rich, be it the poor, be it the doctor, be it any other profession, be it the sadhus, be it the demons, be it the goddess, be it the gods. All type of people come here in the festival, and this festival is the largest Hindu gathering in the world, and in numbers it's the largest gathering of any festival on this planet Earth. So the significance is quite huge. This is my first time going there, because only in 12 years you get a chance. So right now I am 33, and if I had a chance before to come to this place, it must have been around when I was 21. So you can imagine, you cannot get many chances to come to Kumbh Mela. You will get only one chance, maybe not even one, because this complete Mahakumbh or Poon Mahakumbh is coming after 144 years, guys. So maybe my grandfather or my grandfather's father never could visit because he was not born before 1881, and he didn't survive till 2025. So you can imagine the importance of this festival, guys. Right now we are going to one city where is the biggest temple of Lord Ram or God Ram. He is an avatar of Lord Vishnu, and we are going there. We will be staying there for one night before moving to the Kumbh festival, because in Kumbh festival it's a high occupancy. In Kumbh festival all the accommodation is basically temporary. The tents are temporary. So they have built the whole city on the banks of river Ganga in just 2 months, and it's a temporary shelter. So we're gonna be going to Ayodhya, where is the Ram Mandir. We're gonna be staying one night over there, and after that we're gonna be moving to Prayagraj, which is about 3 hours from there. So we're gonna be taking rest from this trip. Tomorrow we're gonna be visiting the Ram temple, and after that, day after tomorrow, early morning, we're gonna be going for Mahakumbh, guys. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, guys, subscribe to the channel. This video I am posting today because it's very important that you guys get to know what is Mahakumbh and you follow step by step. Although we are just taking the first dip in the first bathing day, but you will get an idea of the whole festival that will go for 1.5 months to 2 months, about what this festival is about. And obviously all the news channels are going to cover it, be it BBC, be it CNN or any big news channels around the world is gonna be covering this event. You're gonna know in the news, but you're gonna know before from me what is Mahakumbh. Guys, look at the buffaloes here in these green fields of India. This is how we raise our cows and buffaloes. We are taking photographs on on the highway with the boat. So this is Sultanpur. It's from one series in Netflix, not Amazon Prime. So we are just taking photos. We have this Bluetooth control, and after many days. Guys, we are here visiting one of the remote villages in Uttar Pradesh state, and look, this is the school, municipal school, and you can see how the houses are. They are all like of bricks, but not completely made up. So we still have to work on that. If you can see, and these are the farms or the campus. Amigos, India is crazy. Look, everything is on the road. No one is walking on the sides. The road is single road, and the people are walking here. The childs are walking here. The cars parked in between, if you can see. And the cars just move. They don't give indicators or nothing. If you see, the bicycles are on this. We are not wrong, okay? We are on the road, but no one is driving. No one is going outside the road. Everyone is on the road. Even the cows are there on the road, and you just pass people very nearby. But this is how a rural village in this state looks. But if you see, there are a lot of people. It's not like Mexico that in the village there is no one. Here is the most populated state in India. So we are driving very good, slowly, but we need to take care of everyone on the way. Guys, this is a market. They are making the market on the road, and this is how they are selling the vegetables here. But it's on the road, on the sidewalk. Basically, there are no sidewalks. But look at how many people are here. Potatoes, different type of potatoes, onion, and here is a mix. The one that are wearing the saris are the Hindus, and the one with the beard are Muslims. Guys, we almost reached. It's only 1.5 kilometers left. What happened is the signboard said Ayodhya is this side, but we were following the Google Maps. The Google Map was saying the more fastest way, but we thought the signboards also mean something, right? But we go to the villages in between that videos as I put before this, and it took us half an hour more. Then we stopped for one tea, we stopped for eggs. So yeah, we just eat, and we are reaching in like another 3 minutes. So yeah, amigos, we almost complete our trip to Ayodhya. We reach Ayodhya today. Thanks for watching this video. Keep watching, keep subscribing.